Hey everyone! Okay, so today is part 3 of my decluttering series. I actually went through quite a bit in the last week or two of movies that I'm ready to keep and get rid of. So I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the movies that I'm going to get rid of. The first movie that I decided I was going to get rid of was The Barber. I remember watching this maybe last year. I thought it was really good, but once you get past the mystery of it, it's kind of like there's no need to rewatch it. So I kind of want to declutter this because it's just one of those movies worth one watch. I thought it was fantastic. I think I even did a review of this movie on the channel. So if you are curious about this, go ahead and find that video on here. The next movie that I'm going to get rid of is the movie Slender. And I have this on DVD. Basically, for me, it was a really poorly done movie inspired by Slender Man. I didn't like it. I didn't even rewatch it because I remembered how much I disliked it. I picked this up at Walmart a few years ago. It's time to declutter it. It looks like it's found footage, but from what I remember, it was very poorly done and I was very disappointed in it. So I am letting that go. And I have another movie that I was disappointed in. I didn't even bother rewatching this one either because I remembered that I didn't like it. We have Fright Night 2. Not a very good sequel. And I didn't like it at all. So I'm actually getting rid of that one. Another one that I'm going to go ahead and get rid of, and I didn't really even open this one either because I watched this on Netflix a few years ago, was Condemned. It's basically about a building filled with a bunch of people, some unsavory people, and then there is this either virus or something that gets released in this building and everyone kind of becomes like sort of zombie or possessed or something. And yeah, I decided that I didn't really care for this one either, the way it was done. It was worth one watch and I watched it on Netflix, but it's not a favorite, so I'm getting rid of that one. And then I have the movie, okay, Against the Night. I already talked about decluttering this in my last decluttering video, but I wanted to go ahead and go back and say it did have a little bit of a twist towards the middle end, but the beginning and most of the movie was pretty much the same as any like abandoned prison or hospital movie that I had seen. So I think if they had been a little bit more creative in the beginning, I would have been more involved, or more characters that were likable. I don't really think there was any characters that were likable. But anyway, I'm getting rid of this one, and I just kind of wanted to say, go back on that and also say that there was a little twist towards the middle end. I'm getting rid of one of my absolute favorites because Horror Pack gave it to me in a box. I don't know when exactly, but now I have this on Blu-ray. This is Dylan Dog, Dead of Night. It's an absolutely fantastic, creative, hilarious, and just fun film. Basically, there's a supernatural detective who goes out and he is solving like supernatural crimes in a way, and it's just really fun. It was based on a comic and I really wanted a sequel, but we didn't get one. Maybe one day we will, because I've seen a few sequels kind of that you never thought were going to be resurrected, being resurrected, and this was so fantastic. Great actors, great storyline. I really would love to see a sequel in that. It was just a really fun movie. But I'm letting it go because I have my Blu-ray now. Okay, another movie that I'm letting go because I have a Blu-ray version of it now, thanks to Horror Pack, is The Pyramid. It has, I believe Dennis O'Hare's in this, and that was one of the reasons why I was so excited to watch this when I initially picked this up. Basically, explorers go into a pyramid and strange things ensue. There's some great acting in here, great visual effects from what I remember. It's been quite a while since I watched it. I really need to watch it again, but I do remember I wanted a little more of something. Like, it wasn't the perfect pyramid movie, but I need to rewatch it again before I give my full thoughts on it. Another favorite that I'm getting rid of is The Hallow. So this is about a man and his wife who are sent to Ireland, and they start having strange things happening to them, and there are a bunch of superstitious locals in the area, and they feel like he and his wife are not respecting the lore of the area, and they're worried because things are going to happen to them because they're not respecting the lore. And I just thought this was so fantastic. It's very rare when you get a really great movie on lore, and specifically like Irish lore. I was so excited when I found this in Walmart, and this is one of my favorite purchases from Walmart, but I'm letting it go because I now have a Blu-ray version and I don't need an extra copy in my shelves. Okay, so I am getting rid of Don't Breathe. It's not even opened yet. This was one of my Horror Pack movies that came to me, and I already had a Blu-ray version of this when it came out because I was so excited to watch it. So basically, 3 young people decide to break into what they perceive is an easy target's house because he is blind and he looks older, but he kind of they kind of run into some issues in their breaking and entering scheme, and it's very suspenseful and weird and strange and takes twists and turns and just fantastic. I think there is a sequel coming out for that, but yeah, loved that movie. Okay, another movie I'm getting rid of is The Thing. This is the prequel, and the reason I'm getting rid of this is because I also have a Blu-ray version of it, thanks to Horror Pack. So basically, it's the idea of what happened before the story that we all know and love happened in the Arctic. I thought it was a really great movie. I enjoyed it. I know there's quite a few people who didn't like it as a prequel, but I thought it was really good. So I'm going to go ahead and let that one go, though, because I have my Blu-ray. And then, you guys, my mom is an amazing, thoughtful person. She picked up a bunch of Fangoria movies for me way back in the day, and I never popped them in. If I did, I forgot about it. So I went ahead and rewatched or watched these for the first time. Let's start with Sin Reaper. I am going to go ahead and let this one go. It was about a woman who kept having strange dreams, and then she decided to look more into them, and she traveled to Germany to do this. It felt like it wanted to be kind of comic-y, but it didn't really pull that off very well. Some of the acting was okay, and some of it was just kind of cheesy. Maybe if I was watching it with one of my friends and we were laughing about it, I would have liked this a little bit more. But I really didn't enjoy this film, and there's no need for it to clutter my shelves. Another one of those Fangoria films, Germ Z. It's supposed to be a zombie movie, but it occurred when there was a meteor that seemed to come from another planet. Actually, you know, I'm not sure that a zombie more, it might even be more infected, but they sure acted like zombies. So, it really, to me, it really wasn't a fantastic film. I'm going to go ahead and let it go. Basically, it's about a small town that's trying to survive this strange infection, and zombie sort of things ensue, but I have better zombie / infected movies, so I wouldn't really reach for that if I really wanted to watch a zombie or an infected type of person movie. Another movie I am getting rid of, I actually fell asleep on, and I don't do that, is Axed. The cover looks better than the movie is. I don't even know where they got the idea for the cover, because it looks like it's in a building or like a corporate setting. It's not set in a corporate setting. Basically, a man, after he gets let go, he takes his family to the country one day, and he's just kind of a all-around jerk and evil person to them, and things keep repeating. The family, you know, confronts the issue, and they seem like there's going to be a ray of hope, and then they get back in the same situation. It just keeps repeating, and it was not very interesting for me. Obviously, I fell asleep. So there's that. And then I have a few movies that I viewed that I'm going to actually keep, which is really exciting. So I'm actually going to keep a Fangoria film. I thought this was pretty well done. The acting was pretty solid. It is about a man who says he is wrongly accused of a crime that a serial killer was committing, and he wants to seek revenge on all of those people who put him in jail. And that's all I'm going to say about that if you decide to watch this. I think it's also known as Red Ink, because when I was on Letterboxd trying to review this, it wasn't under Inhuman Resources. It was known as Red Ink. So if you're interested in this, go ahead and look for both of those names, because you might find it under the other name. Okay. Something that totally surprised me. Okay. Ooh, excuse me. I didn't mean to drop. Okay. So another movie that totally surprised me was Baskin, and we're not talking that cool cat at all. So I went back and forth on whether I wanted to keep this or not, because it disturbed me. I'm gonna be completely honest. This movie disturbed me, just the idea of it. Basically, it's a film about a group of cops, and it's a Turkish film, and they get this call to go to this house that has some, I guess, stories behind it, and weird things keep happening to one of the main characters. Like, he keeps having these weird conversations, and I love the way the director plays with space and time for that character, and just like how his human awareness is, like, he goes from being in daydreams to dreaming to being in reality, and it's just really creative how it all flows together. And like I said, there's a lot of disturbing imagery in this movie. Not only that, just disturbing situations. So after I watched this movie, I was like, what did I watch? And I went back and forth with myself with whether I wanted to keep it, because it bothered me so much. And I think this is going to be one of those movies that if I ever rewatch it, it'll be years and years in the future, but it was worth the watch. But like I said, disturbing, and I'm going to go ahead and keep it. Another movie that I am going to keep is Devil's Due. It's another one of those like found footage films, And it deals with a couple that gets married and goes on honeymoon, and then they start having strange things happen on this honeymoon, and then they come home and there seems to be something that's not quite right with her baby. And I'm not going to keep going, but it was interesting. But if you're not into like found footage films, you would want to skip this because it's shot on like handheld cameras and like security cameras. But I thought it was pretty creative, and I enjoyed it. So, and I definitely would rewatch that movie. Another film that I'm going to keep is American Mary. This is the first time I had ever watched American Mary, and I just love Catherine Isabel. She's gorgeous and just brutal and amazing, and I really, really enjoyed watching this film. I think it's better than like American Psycho, just in my opinion, if we're comparing those kinds of movies. Just because of her. I really enjoy her acting and her work. It's about a girl who goes to a medical school, and she's struggling. So she's trying to find a way to make money. And she starts finding these alternative ways of making money, which in itself really adds to the character and where the story goes. And then her teachers or professors invite her to a party, and she thinks that she's getting into like this doctor crowd, and they're appreciating her for how smart she is and recognizing her, and things go wrong. She gets drugged, and there is an assault, and which was kind of hard for me to watch, but it wasn't like an extended period of time like Last House on the Left kind of a situation. So I was thankful for that. But she also starts basically taking revenge on the people that wronged her. Anyway, so it's a really interesting story, and I would rewatch this. Okay. So another movie that I'm going to go ahead and keep, even though I didn't completely enjoy the film, was Dead Hooker in the Trunk by the Soska sisters. This was one of their debut films, and I just thought it was fun to watch them having fun. But the storyline wasn't my favorite. So basically, a group of 4 young friends find someone in the back of their trunk, and they believe that this person was placed there after they were killed, and they're trying to get rid of the body because they're afraid that they would be accused of the crime. So some of the characters were kind of funny, and some of the lines, and it was a little bit cheesy, but it was still fun watching them create this debut film. And then to know that, sorry guys, I bumped the camera. And to know that after that they created American Mary was just amazing. This was so much growth in a director or writer, and I just really enjoyed seeing the growth between these films too. So there's that. Okay, so another film that I'm deciding that I'm going to keep is The Morningside Monster. And The Morningside Monster basically follows a town that has to deal with these gruesome ritualistic killings. And everybody basically knows everybody in this town because it's so small. And a lot of people that live here grew up here. And one of the characters that grew up here is now a cop, and he's trying to solve these killings. And I just thought it was an interesting story. I got interrupted, sorry guys. So I thought it was an interesting story because it involved that ritualistic stuff, and then the actual dilemma of doing the right thing and saving people and like, where is that line? What is right? What is wrong? And yeah, so I thought it was pretty interesting. It's definitely worth a watch. It might take me a few years to pop this back in, but I enjoyed it and I thought it was fantastic. I think I gave it like a 3-star on Letterboxd. Also, it was signed, and I really like that too. So I'm glad I enjoyed the film. Other than that, I went ahead and reorganized some of my shelves. So I think when I am completely done going through this whole purge of my movies, that I'm going to do like a shelf tour so you can see, because I'm actually really liking the way I organized my films. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and let me know if you agree with the movies I got rid of. Just as a reminder, I got rid of 13 films this time, and I think I've already gotten rid of at least 13 over there, so I'm getting really, really close to 30. That's actually a really good amount. I'm really proud of myself. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about what I got rid of, and yeah, if you've seen any of these other films and you want to talk about them, please do, because there's a few of these that I really want to talk about, especially like what you thought of Baskin, if you've ever seen it. That one really, really intrigued me in a strange sort of way. So anyway, yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.